Got me all the way fucked up and shit. Now you have to expect me to believe this bullshit is wants to fucking happen. Hey everybody, I'm so sorry I'm late. I just had a very fucked up day. Very fucked up. And the last thing I want to do is just do this fucking review before I go to work. Motherfuckers got me in my fucking shit like that. Got me wasting my whole fucking Sunday afternoon and shit. And then we ended up not doing. Bitch. Hey everybody, I'm really could be better because literally I haven't really gotten any sleep hardly because the last minute decisions always fuck up my weekend whenever I have nothing to do. So yeah, like I want to do all this shit before I go to a 12-hour shift. No, y'all don't have to be sorry. Y'all really don't have to be sorry. I'm used to this bullshit by now. Like literally, my fucking day has been fucking wasted. I only had like an hour and some change for sleep. And then we ended up not doing what we had to do, and now no. Part of me don't even want to go to work tonight, but at the same time, it's just like I need to make my bread. So yeah, that's the mood. Motherfuckers gonna ask me for shit tomorrow. They have another thing coming. I swear to God, they have another thing coming. It's all fucking week. All fucking week. Bitches have been getting on my last fucking nerves with moving and getting this and getting that. And literally all I asked for is this weekend, let me get my rest. That's all I asked for. This fucking weekend, let me get my rest. It's Sunday, 5:36, and no. I go in at 7 o'clock and shit. Because motherfuckers have to be so doing too much and shit like that just so I can get some rest. And I'm sorry that I'm in an angry mood right now. I'm very sorry. But right now, I'm not in a mood to be fucking happy. I just want to do this review, get ready to go to work. After I get off work, I'm going to sleep. I'm not being bothered. I'm putting my phone on Do Not Disturb. Really. Like I said, this shit really made me effing mad just now. And then top it off, stupid motherfuckers can't drive in a fucking highway. Almost got into a fucking accident. Motherfuckers can't drive for shit. Like, who the fuck gave these motherfuckers a license and shit? Who the fuck taught them how to drive? Tiger Woods? Like, why the hell are you going 30 miles in highway for the fast lane? Why the hell are you going 30 miles? Make that make sense. Didn't even have time to watch Raising Kanan yet. But I watched that probably during my break at work and shit. Because like I said, I'm going to act a damn fool tonight. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to act a damn fool tonight. Good that shit literally made me effing mad. Made me mad. It's cool. It's cool. How was the party, Q? Okay, but uh, how was the party? Let me tell you right now, I was actually thinking about staying a day in DC, but I might just stay a whole weekend at this point. Cause the way motherfuckers had me bent this whole fucking week, like it's always like Reggie this, Reggie that, Reggie this. I'm like, then y'all wanna fucking beg me and shit like that. I barely have gotten sleep all week. Barely got sleep. But hey, I always wake up, do some things to get my money, and I start school tomorrow. I gotta take an extra stupid ass class just because my fucking professor and my advisors don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Oh man, dude, we venting today.
Yeah, because let me tell you, this whole fucking week I've been trying to hold it together, but no, like dead ass, like this whole fucking week, motherfuckers been doing stupid shit all week and shit. Barely got sleep and stuff like that. And the one day I really want to sleep in, this whole shit happened.
Right.
Yeah,
Fuck all
that's
that.
that's okay. Because when I get off work tomorrow, nobody, unless it's family or even that, better fucking bother me. Cause
Right.
I'm a cousin motherfucker out like dead ass.
It's all good.
And I gotta go back to work dealing with this house nigga manager and shit. This stupid Rastafarian motherfucker.
What's good?
I told him yesterday that my stomach was hurting and shit like that, and I can stay to like the last break and shit like that. You talking about, well, if I let you go, you might not come back and shit like that. I'm like, nigga, it's not no COVID shit. It's like a fucking stomach ache. God damn.
Oh my
I'm
god.
so fucking wrapped up with this stupid ass pandemic and shit. Niggas can't be fucking sick these days and shit. Niggas can't have a fucking cold. Niggas can't have fucking chicken pox without COVID and shit like that. Always brought up in the fucking question, like, whatever happened to AIDS? Whatever happened to HIV? Whatever happened to the gout? Whatever happened to all that shit?
Right.
You mean y'all scared because some Asians ate a fucking bat? But how you doing, Try?
I'm chilling, man.
That's what's up.
I'm chilling. Can't stress yourself. Life is too short, especially now in this
Yeah,
pandemic, to get riled up over crap. So you just gotta
yeah.
ignore the bullshit.
I'm trying. It's just that when I don't get sleep, I get in a way and shit like that. Which part of that has it's my fault too because I was doing stupid shit when I knew I should be sleeping. But yeah, that's why when I get off work tomorrow, I'm going to sleep. Nobody bother me until it's time for me to wake up for this class, this stupid ass class to be exact. An internship class, which they don't even know if I'm going to get paid for, but we'll see.
Right.
But luckily, this album actually got me through this road trip. So
Right.
you don't have this album, right?
I don't have no Rolling Stone albums. I know their songs. I just don't. I never bought any of their albums though.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't forget you about the song Ice. I just got some
It's
more
all
money.
good.
I'm gonna do it during my break and shit.
It's all good.
Yes, sir. Cause I didn't even go to that vinyl show today, which that I'm kind of mostly mad about.
Right.
I'm
I
like,
want to say something. Like from now on, when people ask us to do shit, y'all better pay us. Cause
oh
me,
yeah,
Reg, Ashley, and I have been doing this shit since we left Speaker Cloud. That was what 2019, and we was doing shit even while we were over there, and
yeah,
doing all these great discussions and album reviews, movie reviews, whatever, TV shows. But now, it's it's time. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing this for 4 years together. It's time now.
yeah.
So from now on, when people ask us to review a movie or album, whatever, y'all gotta pay us. That's just what it is.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Sam, you the man, you the homie. But from now on, like you be the main one that asks us like, yo, review this movie, Belly, Goodfellas. Now you gotta pay us. That's just what it is. Like everybody else is doing it, and I feel like we're the best at this shit compared to everybody else. You know what I'm saying? You can stamp that.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we're the best when it comes to these discussions. We're the best at it. You know what I'm saying? So I dare anybody that feel like they better than us. So now we got to get paid for what we do.
I agree.
That is what it is. Like if y'all support us from day one, then they continue to support us. Let's see who's our real supporters.
Yeah.
You know, you love Pac and you want us to talk about Pac, you got to pay us. Because I'm not discussing Pac for free. I'm already tired of talking about Tupac. I've been talking about Tupac for the last 25 years. I don't care to talk about Tupac anymore.
And I'm just saying.
You want to hear us talk about All Eyes on Me or Me Against the World, then you got to pay us.
And I'm just gonna say, like, I have some albums that I have in storage that I still have yet to talk about. So, like I said before, I'm not going to really do any albums unless if it's like very out of print. If I don't have my collection, there's a chance I won't do it anytime soon. Just to be real.
Right. You want to hear us talk about fucking Bow Wow and 2 Chainz, then you got to pay us, because I will damn sure not talk about them.
They can pay me $1 million for Bow Wow, yo.
You know what I'm saying? I refuse to talk about any artist that I don't listen to.
Hell, he got through Nelly and shit. Fuck.
Yeah, but that was fun though. But I'm not talking about artists that I don't listen to in this era or any other era.
True.
So that's just what it is.
Yeah. Listen, I'm ready to start whenever you are.
Let's go.
Yeah, I don't want to spend too much time, but what's good, you two? How's everyone doing this lovely Sunday? I hope y'all having a better Sunday than I am. This is your boy Reg in the building. Got my homeboy Try with me.
What up?
Before I start, a certain hip hop legend has died. The dude from Zion 1.
Guys, rest in peace.
Yes, I'm gonna pull up his name right now. Give me 1 second.
Rest in peace. Zumbi.
Zumbi, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Steve Zumbi Gaines.
Steve Zumbi Gaines. Rest in peace to him. I'm never really been I listen to Zion 1, but I've never been like a huge fan of him.
Yeah.
But they said this guy died from COVID.
He had asthma.
Asthma.
Yeah.
They want to say complications from COVID. Okay.
Well, he had asthma, and I guess the COVID was a part of that.
I guess so, but
yeah, they tried to revive him, and it was too late. I have one of the albums. I have I think Deep Water Slang it's called. I have that album. I got in a hall a year ago. Dope album. You know what I'm saying? I didn't I was familiar with some of this stuff, not the whole discography, but I mean it's another loss regardless with this culture. So
damn, the West Coast has been losing a lot of motherfuckers. Damn,
it's crazy.
But yeah, the album that we are going to be talking about today, it's the Rolling Stones with Dirty Work. This was released in 1986. I actually do have the album. Okay, I actually do have the album, but it's like an all red cover. I think it's like a special edition. So this is actually the actual cover. Oh my God, what the hell were they thinking? Jesus. Okay, look at how Keith Richards is like sitting and shit like that, you know.
Right.
Mick Jagger just this looks like they were trying to do like a promo spot for Pee Wee's Playhouse or some shit, man, like Sesame Street.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, this released in 1986, March 24th to be exact. It came out with if I can pull up the singles with this computer can act right. Thank you. Came out with 2 singles, 1 hit, To the Body, and Harlem Shuffle. They had a few guest appearances too, believe it or not. They had, of course, the Rolling Stones. They had Bobby Womack on this album. They had Jimmy Page on this album. Yvonne Neville, Chuck Leavell, Felipe Sess. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Anton Fig. Ian Stewart, who was like the unofficial member of the Rolling Stones, but he was like a pianist.
Right.
This is actually his last contribution before he died. Just naming a few, like you have Jimmy Cliff, Tom Waits. Yeah, you know. All right, so when it comes to the '80s and the Rolling Stones, you're gonna hear like a lot of different opinions. One opinion was that like they pretty much went to commercial post the Sun Girls era, and then you have other people who say like they were definitely just trying new trends, and this was just a result of Jag and Richards not seeing eye to eye, which I'm gonna get into that in a minute.
Mhm.
But Tattoo You was the album that they came out with in 1981, which that was a very good album. A lot of people said, and including myself, said that was like the best album they've done in the '80s.
That's the first one I heard from them.
Yes,
That's
Tattoo
Tattoo.
You,
Yeah.
love that album. And so after the release of Tattoo You, of course they went on tour and they did the Still Life live album, and then they did in 1983 they did the Undercover album, which Undercover, I'm not gonna lie, I actually did like Undercover because it was like it was a different from Rolling Stones album. Like they were like a lot more adventurous, if that makes sense. They
Mm.
were like you can tell like Mick Jagger was experimenting a lot with the Rolling Stones around this period
Right.
and stuff like that too, because they left Atlantic Records around this time too, and they signed to I think CBS Records to this no, actually scratch, I think it was Columbia they signed to or whatever.
Mm.
And around this time too, Mick Jagger signed a solo deal to CBS Record, and he started working on his solo album. And Keith Richards kind of felt some type of way because it's like, so does this mean like you're leaving the group? Because there has been rumored for years that he was going to go solo and stuff like that, but
Right.
it's never really been brought into fruition. If that makes sense and stuff.
Right.
So it ended up reaching a peak when they were working on this album, and then next thing you know, Jagger came out with the what's the album, the song "Dancing in the Street,"
Right.
cover with David Bowie.
I
It
remember
was a
that.
live aid.
That was dope.
It was alright.
I remember Live Aid. I actually saw that when I was a kid, and seeing Freddie Mercury's last performance on there and shit.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah, man. I kind of preferred the Van Halen cover of "Dancing in the Street" to be real
Mm.
with you because
Right.
this version was okay, but it was a bit too cheesy. The videos what ruined it for me.
Right.
And so in 1985, Jagger came out with the Who's the my laptop froze again. The Who's the Boss album. No,
Mm.
She's the Boss. Excuse me. I said Who's the Boss. She's the Boss. I've only heard bits and pieces of it, but if you're expecting the blues rock Rolling Stones, you're gonna be disappointed because he went for that more new wave pop rock kind of sound, which was the direction that they were going to with the Undercover album. So I never heard that record before. I've only heard one Mick Jagger solo album, and it was the one that came out in 1993, which I want to say Rick Rubin produced that one too.
Right.
So yeah, and so Richards and Jagger was still going at it around another, and what really set it off was the fact that Mick Jagger didn't want to go on tour and stuff like that due to like the animosity with the group and stuff too.
Right.
And Ronnie Wood, Bill Wyman, and Charlie Watts, they weren't really see the group didn't really record all together and stuff like that too because Charlie Watts, the drummer, he was going through like substance abuse issues, and he had to be filled in by like a lot of people, including Ronnie Wood.
Right.
Which that makes, if y'all don't know, the members of the Rolling Stones are Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, Ronnie Wood, Charlie Waits, and Bill Wyman around this time. So just to let y'all know. And so yeah, Charlie Waits was going through some drug issues, and there was some times when like Jack and Keith Richards almost fought one another and shit like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It was very heated around this time from what I looked up. Like they definitely were just going added with one another and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't really bury the hatchet into like the late '80s when they were working on the Steel Wheels album. But to me, the final nail at the coffin was when Ian Stewart died. I think he had like
Right,
some respiratory issues,
right,
if I'm not mistaken. And Ian Stewart was like the George Martin when it came to the Rolling Stone. George Martin of the Beatles and stuff too, or the Brian Epstein, if that makes more sense. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
And without him, they kind of like went their separate ways and stuff like that too. So yeah, man, that's really what happened with this album and shit like that too. Um,
Is this the first time we talking about Rolling Stones?
well, I talked about Rolling Stones a couple
Oh,
times solo wise
okay.
on this channel. Yeah, I want to say this is the first time you and I are talking. Damn. I'm sorry. How did you get into Rolling Stones? I'm sorry.
Just back in the '80s, just like I said, like just watching Live Aid as a kid and seeing Mick Jagger performing Tina Turner on stage, and I
Yes.
remember that when she was performing and he ripped off her skirt, and like I said, like the first album I heard from them was Tattoo You, and that was a great album. I never really was a huge Stones fan. You know what I'm saying? I know like a lot of their songs, Satisfaction and Brown Sugar, but I never like bought any of their albums. You know what I'm saying? And I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of their stuff that like during the '90s got looked over. You know what I'm saying? Like they've been huge in any decade, but I feel like their best stuff was like way after like gone
Like
now. You know what I'm saying?
Voodoo Lounge and shit.
Voodoo Lounge, I remember. Well, I think the tour was bigger than the actual album though, but I never heard that
Yeah.
album. But like I remember when they were on tour, like that was a big thing. And I mean back then, when you had like a huge band like Rolling Stones or U2, they were covering everything at that point. Before the internet. So I remember seeing them go on tour for that album, and I have yet to hear that album. I don't know your thoughts on Voodoo Lounge.
I got a copy of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be real with you. I like it, but it's like a very weird album.
Right.
I have to re-listen to it again to be real with you because it's better than the Bridges of Babylon in
Mm-hmm.
'97, way
Mm-hmm.
better. But with Voodoo Lounge, it's like let me re-listen to that. I just have to. It's not a bad album though. It's
Right.
really not a bad album. It's actually a very good album.
Yeah, and just like like the collaborations he's done with David Bowie dancing in the street, and State of Shock with Michael. Well, that was my favorite song on the Jackson 5 Victory album, State of Shock. And I felt like I've always been waiting for that one album, like solo album from Mick, where he actually crossed over and became acceptable in the urban community. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like he could have pulled it off. You know what I'm saying? The same way like Bono. I felt like we was waiting for that Bono solo album and he never gave us that one. But I felt like Mick could have been right in there as well. Like if he worked with like the right producers, that would have been a dope ass solo album. But me, I've always known who the Rolling Stones are. They're definitely legends. I watched the Netflix documentary when they first went over to Cuba to perform. That was a good documentary, and they're definitely legends in the game. You know what I'm saying? I definitely want to hear more of their albums in the future.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. To me, I got into the Stones. Just growing up. When I was just getting into rock music,
Yeah.
I I um I wasn't like the beat at the time. I wasn't like the biggest Beatles fan. I was more into like the Stones, especially with the bluesy sound and stuff like that. I've always felt that Beatles were more rock and roll
Yeah.
influenced in their early career, while the Stones was more blues,
Right.
and then the Who was different because they were more in the modern culture, but they had a little opera mixed in with them
Hmm.
and shit. Which that's another group I do want to talk about before the year's over
Right.
and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Yeah, Sam. Stones over the Beatles every day, even during the Beatles druggy era and shit. But Um, I did see the Shine a Light concert film, which was a very dope concert film, by the way. So, all right. And now, without further ado, this album has 11 tracks, not too long. Track number one, One Hit to the Body. Um, this was a very cool song, in my opinion. Nice way to start off the album. Just already, you can hear like the poppy, the 80s electric guitars and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? You have Bobby Womack, Patty Scalfa, Don Convoy, and Christy McCall and shit like that. Who was Steve Lillywhite's wife? Who Steve Lillywhite was the producer of this album too. You have them, doing background vocals and shit. I mean, it's a cool song. I wasn't really too big on the singles like that. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, but
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, it was definitely a dope song. It sounded like something out of a Rocky film. Like just the whole content of the song, one hit to the body. Immediately I was thinking about like Rocky or Raging Bull. Definitely had some nice guitars in it, nice beat, nice bass line. You got Mick singing. You fell out of a clear blue sky to a darkness below. The smell of your flesh excites me. Your blood starts to flow. Definitely a great way to start the album off.
yeah, definitely. Um, Now we're gonna get into Oh, also, it's, Jimmy Page did the guitar on this track too,
Hmm.
and in the video, it's kind of ironic because Keith and Mick were like fighting one another,
Right,
and legend has it that they were really fighting and stuff like that. Just it's like an irony just based on how they were during that time too. So
right.
very interesting. Track number two, Fight. Again, ironic, but okay. Just pretty much another cool song. It's like self-explanatory. It's talking about you have to fight for what you believe in and shit like that. You can tell Mick was pretty angry and stuff like that
Right.
during this track. It said that Ronnie Wood did the bass guitar on this, so Bill Wyman did not do the bass on this track. So yeah, that's very interesting. This is the alright song.
Yeah, yeah. This was definitely dope. Definitely a dope ass song. I like the beat and the guitars in it. Again, another title like Fight. That's definitely could have been in a Rocky film.
Exactly. Now we're gonna get to Harlem Shuffle. Oh god. Okay, so this is probably the guiltiest pleasure of all guiltiest pleasures. This is actually a cover of the Bob and Earl song from 1963. The Rolling Stones did their version of it with Bobby Womack again on vocals. Um, Bobby Womack, he was very cool with the Stones and stuff like that too, because the Stones covered some of his songs during like the earlier career and stuff like that too. So they pretty much gave Bobby Womack some of his first publication credits and stuff like that too. So um I never really cared for this song, in my opinion, because it was just like one of those corny ass songs and shit like that, like one of them dance songs. But at the same time, it's a guilty pleasure in a weird way. Just the craziness of the '80s too.
Hmm.
The video was interesting too because it was actually directed by John Crick and you guys know all my Nickelodeon heads. He was the creator of Ren and Stimpy and stuff too. So that was like one of his earliest directions and stuff like that too. So yeah,
Right. Yeah, it's a dope. I remember this song. I remember the video. Watching that when I was really young. It has like a real funky '80s contemporary pop, feel to it. I like the beat and the chorus. Do the Harlem Shuffle. That
right.
very dope.
Moving
Yeah,
to the left.
do the Harlem Shuffle. Love it, love it. That it's definitely like a different sounding type of Rolling Stones song. Like just for that time when you hear it, it sounds like an '80s track.
Yeah,
They adapted well, I think, to that era. You know, yeah, it was definitely dope. I didn't realize it was on this album though. I remember the song.
Yeah, man. No, it's crazy. It kind of reminds me of Billy Ray Cyrus, "Achy Breaky Heart" a little bit,
Right,
just because the dance and stuff too. So yeah. And it had like a weird country rock kind of feel to it too, in a weird way. But
right.
now we're gonna get into "Hold Back." Love this song in my opinion and stuff like that. Just talking about how you cannot hold back. You have to take the opportunity and chances in life. Be a risk taker and stuff like that too. So yeah,
Yeah,
this song I definitely loved and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
One of Mick Jagger's best vocals on this track.
yeah. Definitely Hold Back was dope. Nice loud guitars on it. Nice beat. Definitely one of my favorites on here.
Yes, sir. Now we're gonna get into Too Rude, which Too Rude again, that was another cover, a cover by a Jamaican artist by High Pint. And Stones did their version of it, still maintaining the reggae-ness of it. Because I noticed a lot of people say, oh, they don't like this album because the Stones did reggae well. The Stones did reggae as far back as possibly maybe it's only rock and roll, maybe black and blue, maybe because they were cool with Peter Tosh. Mick was cool with Peter Tosh and shit
Right,
too and stuff like that. Rest in
right.
peace to Peter Tosh, by the way, member of Bob Marley and the Wailers and shit too. So and like I mentioned before, reggae was definitely getting popularity in the States during like the mid 70s and stuff like that. So a lot of rock acts like Clapton, they were trying to experiment with that reggae sound because Eric Clapton did the cover of the Bob Marley track "I Shot the Sheriff."
Hmm.
That was a dope. I like that version, but to me, the original is still king in my opinion. So
Definitely, definitely a dope track. I like the Jamaican beat. You know, it's different to hear them on a reggae track. You know, the bass line and the beat is dope. And I felt like a lot of artists, like during the 80s, were trying to. I don't know if they were making fun of reggae or if they were just trying to like salute the genre. You know what I mean?
well,
Because like when we hear like I don't not even
the Clash.
no, I was gonna say Paul Simon and Sting, but I think they were more saluting that music instead of making fun of them. But it's like over the years, like when you hear like certain artists like try to do a reggae track. I mean, shit, even DJ Quick try to do a reggae track, and I felt like, are you saluting the genre or are you making fun of it?
To me, this is the way I see it. I see it more like because reggae was something very different, and the states, especially people in England,
Mm-hmm.
were exposed to that reggae sound before us too. So
Right.
they were definitely trying to show their love. But certain times I admit it came off a little sloppy, like Led Zeppelin's Dear Maker from
Mm-hmm.
House of the Holy. I like that track, but I'm not gonna lie. When I first heard it, it was a bit sloppy and shit like that too. But I like it now. But then if you have like groups like the Clash and Bad Brains and shit like that too, which Sam was mentioning stuff,
Right.
they did it very well in my
Yeah,
opinion.
but Bad Brains is dope. I'm not talking about Bad Brains. I'm talking about like the artists that wouldn't normally uh they're not known for that. They wouldn't normally that wouldn't be normally be a part of their music, and they go out of their way to do a reggae sounding track. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I'm Bad Brains. I'm not talking about them. They're like they have incorporated that in their music. I'm just talking about like artists outside of that genre where they might go ahead and do a reggae track. I'm like, are you doing this to salute the genre, or are you just doing this to? I feel like they were poking fun at reggae music back then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know, like that the song was dope, but like I can't recall any other Rolling Stone track where they did reggae.
The Black and Blue, I forgot I think it's called Memory Motel.
Hmm.
They had like a little reggae-ish, but I'm not a big fan of that album,
Right.
so that was sloppy the way he did
Right.
it.
See, like there was a group. I forgot the name of the group. There was a group a couple years ago that did a song called "Rude." But and I heard that album, and when you hear that album, the whole album wasn't reggae. So it was like they're like an alternative band, but they're coming up with a big hit that sounds like a reggae song. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Yeah,
like, well, this is not really your sound. You know, so why are you doing it? Is it just to get on the charts or like, you know what I mean? I just think that's just weird to me. It would be
yeah,
like Frank Sinatra trying to do R&B, but he wasn't an R&B singer. You know what I mean?
well, if
He's an R&B singer to you?
I wasn't going to say that, but at the same time, he did work with a couple producers in that feel like Frank did jazz, pop, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So if he did an
Right,
R&B album, it wouldn't even be that much of a stretch for him.
right.
To be real with you, but
I feel
that's
you.
just the way I see it. Because sometimes even the labels will try to force that sound and shit. You know?
Right.
Yeah. Now, Winning Ugly, probably my favorite track off this album. It has a very 80s post disco kind of feel. It sounds like something you would hear like on Fame and shit like that, the TV show. Definitely love Mick Jagger's vocal on this track right here. Like, I love when he says, I want to be on top, forever on the top, and damn the competition. I never play it fair. I never turn a head just like the politicians. And then you have like the vocals like winning, ugly. Who was doing the background vocals? Dolette McDonald and Janice Pendarvis. They did their thing on that vocal and shit.
Right.
And this is like one of the few Stone songs where everybody was intact. Like Mick was on vocals, Keith and Ronnie was on guitar, Charlie was on drums, Bill was on drums and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So this was definitely one of my favorite. I feel like there's a Rolling Stone song that I admit could have even been a single, but
Right.
this album really was not thought off that well and shit like that when it came to like the playing process due to the beef between them. But yeah, I fuck with this song heavy, my favorite.
Yeah, this was a dope track. Really funky beat, nice guitars on the bass line. Definitely enjoyed this one.
Yeah, man. Um, watching fucking honeymooners and shit.
Classic.
For real. I be wondering when this nigga gonna have like a nervous breakdown and shit like that.
Oh, Ralph.
Yeah. I'm like, this nigga,
I,
I'll be like, damn, Jack Gill gonna give himself a heart attack
I
one
think
day.
it was pretty. He was. I think a couple times he was almost there.
Yeah.
His temper was crazy. You know what I'm saying? I used to always wonder, like, back then, like, even back then, I used to like wonder, like, yo, did Ralph with the temper that he had, and Alice being so the calmer one, like, did he ever like beat Alice? You know what I mean? You know, it's sad to think, but I'm just like, yo, if it wasn't for her, I don't think anybody would have been able to calm him down.
Right.
You
But
know,
like,
that whole term of bang zoom, I'm like, yeah, he was beating that bitch up. You know that.
he was like straight to the moon.
Yes, I really believe that.
It was like, oh, water. Shit. Anyway. But like he never beat her right. He never beat that's the whole humor of it all is
Right.
these days shows they will fucking have a husband slapping the wife and shit, but fuck it. Anyway, now we're gonna get to Back to Zero. This song was okay. I mean, again, I did like the fucking beat, but at the same time, I feel like it could have been placed way earlier in the album and shit.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a cool song. You know, not one of my favorites, but it was cool.
Definitely. Now we're gonna get to Dirty Work. Again, like Back to Zero, I felt like this song was okay and shit like that, but at the same time, I kind of like this one slightly better because like it was more The energy was there more than Back to Zero and shit like that. So yeah,
Definitely one of my favorites on here. Really funky rock track. Love the guitars. I like the beat switch towards the end of the track as well. That was dope. Definitely one of my favorites on here.
definitely. Um, Now we're gonna get into had it be you, had it with you. That's the track. Yeah, had it with you. Excuse me. This again was a nice like reggae-ish kind of song and stuff like that. I actually like this song. You know what I'm saying? Definitely like the vocals on this track and shit. Yeah, Bill Wyman did not do the bass for this track. So yeah, despite that, I feel like it was a pretty straight song.
Had it with you. Really funky. Nice beat. Nice guitars. It has like an old 50s, Chuck Berry vibe to it, in my opinion. That definitely like this track as well.
Definitely. And the last official track, "Sleep Tonight." This was a very good track. Nice way to end off this album and stuff like that. It's more like a piano kind of melody and stuff like that too, with the gospel feel. If it wasn't for "Winning Ugly," this might be my favorite track off this album.
Hmm.
I kind of saw it a little bit as also like a tribute to Ian Stewart, just for the more of the piano kind of sound and shit like that.
Right.
Um, Keith Richards actually did the vocals for this track since and shit like that too. Which yeah, I forgot to mention. He
Yeah.
did vocals on this track and Too Rude.
Right.
So yeah, very 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 good song.
I love it. I think Keith Richards did his thing on this track. On the lead vocals, and it has like it's like a nice rock ballad with some country blues thrown in. Love the guitars on it, and I thought that real melodic. Another different type of sound for the Stones on this album, like the reggae track Too Rude. I definitely think it's a dope track.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you did too.
And suppose there's another one, right? Key to the Highway. Is that on this album too, or is that
Yeah,
like a reissue? Okay.
yes, that's it's uncredited. It's like a hidden track, but it's like a 33 seconds and shit. I
Right.
didn't really write anything for it. It's like
Just
it's
pianos playing and shit.
yeah, like I said, it's just more like a tribute to Ian Stewart and shit.
Right.
All right. So this has been called the worst Rolling Stones album and stuff like that. Personally, I feel like it's very good. I might be in the minority that actually like this album.
Right.
I actually like this album more than some of the other albums like Goat's Head Soup, Black and Blue, which to me I cannot stand those albums and stuff like that.
Right.
Um, yeah, I mean the '80s production. I feel like the Stones in the '80s was still good, despite like the controversies that they went internally and stuff like that. But at the same time, you have to really get used to it and shit like that. If this was
Right.
like a Mick Jagger solo album, I feel like it would be fared a lot more better. But at the same time, it's a cool album. I will give it in a scale of 1 to 9. I'll give it like a 4 minus.
Yeah, definitely enjoyed this album. The different sounds on here, reggae and country blues and 50s. And 80s pop. I think like I said, Rolling Stones are a legendary band. You know, these are the type of discussions I go for other than hip hop, and I think it's a solid album. I definitely give it 4 mics. It's definitely an album that I would buy. And I liked a lot of the songs. Harlem Shuffle and One Hit to the Body. Too Rude. Dirty Work, the title track, that was one of my favorites. Sleep Tonight, definitely a great album. It was good.
Yeah.
Boombox, it was good.
What's up, Boombacks? Listen, I'm gonna stay on till about 6:25, 6:30 and shit like that. Since I don't even stay that far from the job place anyway. So
Sam said Eric Clapton is a racist.
yeah, he was.
He's a racist and he's working with Babyface.
He worked with a lot of black artists. Like He worked with a lot of black artists and shit too. I mean, he said some racist things during his drug days.
Oh, he was on
And stuff.
drugs.
Yeah,
Right.
and he says something about Jimi Hendrix too
Right.
and shit like that. Like,
Well,
yeah,
when you're the best, you're gonna get that hate. So yeah,
yeah.
that's how I took it.
Don't get me wrong. I like Clapton, but I find him overrated at times and shit.
Yeah, I haven't listened to enough ever clapping like that. So
Just listen to anything between 67 and 77, 78.
yeah,
Like solo wise, is the bands he was in, Cream and shit like that too.
right.
Everything after 78 was just hit or miss.
Okay.
Hendrix over Clapton, of course. Yeah, I'm not going. That Nelly review was just funny as fuck.
Is that what it's come down to now? It's come down to comedy with these reviews.
No, no, it's not. It's not like we're just doing comedy just out the bat. So it's like natural shit. You know what I'm saying?
I think people want to see that. They want to see my reaction to like certain albums or whatever.
Hey, trash reviews. That's basically what trash reviews are. No
Oh
mostly.
shit! What's up?
Even though I don't call the Nelly albums of trash reviews. But
The the majority of the albums that we did that was trash reviews were trash. They were trash. I
oh,
would never buy them again. I would never play them. Like the Black Album, they're terrible. Death Squad album I like. I don't consider that a trash review though. I like the Death Squad album. The Molly the
I
sec was
do.
it? You like? Of course you do. The which Molly Mall album was it? Was it the first one?
Second one.
The second one was bad. Oh my god.
What's his worst one?
I think people just hold on to that because it's Molly Mall, which is understandable. But I wouldn't play that album often.
I only played the LL Cool J track on the regular from the album.
Right. I don't remember. I
Even
remember the
even
LL Cool J song. I remember that one.
even the Symphony Part 2, I played occasionally.
Right. Nah, that was bad. And I met Molly Mall, but yeah, legendary producer. But that album is shit. You know
Well, we about to talk about my shit album on Tuesdays.
what's that? What we
Last
talking about?
Temptation.
Oh my god. I can't. Is that a trash review for you?
No, I'm not going to put any job trash reviews when I'm talking about him because I actually want to give my fair assessment.
Right.
The trash review is the Emil album, which I don't know when I'll do that one. Probably after my break. But yeah, the job reviews are not going to be trash reviews because as much shit as I don't like the Last Temptation,
Yeah.
there are some decent songs I can glide over and shit.
I love that album. So
If
you know,
anything, I would pick Pain is Love over that.
you like Pain is Love more.
Yeah, and that's saying something.
Pain is Love was dope. I like that album too.
Yeah, like I said, it was good, but it's not like it's not like apples and oranges and shit. I'm gonna be real with you.
Do you like rap and rock mixed with hip hop and rock? Yes, I do.
I do
Beastie
too.
Beastie Boys, Linkin Park, Fort Minor,
Anthrax and Public Enemy.
P.O.D. Yeah, I love all that. Limp Bizkit. I'm a huge Limp Bizkit fan.
Better vocals, Keith Richards or John Lennon. Ooh,
John Lennon. Keith Richards. He ain't no great singer.
Keith is dope vocally. Y'all,
As a singer, I think he's a better guitarist than a singer.
you haven't heard him more. You have to listen to the solo album.
The solo albums from him.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. The Talk is Cheap album I showed you,
Yeah.
flawless. Probably the best single Stones album of the '80s next to Tattoo You.
Wow. That's
Yes,
saying a lot then.
it is. Because like I said, I like '80s Stones, but that was the album where the bluesiness was there
Hmm.
compared to Undercover, Dirty Work. Steel Wheels had some bluesiness, but it went for that '80s. It still had that '80s formula, which I like was still.
What about Body Count? I'm not a Body Count fan. I
I
don't know
like
about
both.
you. Like Body Count?
Yeah.
Good luck with going back to studying. Boombox said.
Oh man, just thank you. I need that. Um,
We got to bring Boombox on here like once. You know he's learning from us and he know his shit. And he made like a great producer, like saluting different producers, like top 10 producers, and that was a dope post. So we gotta bring him on here. We can talk like producers and stuff. And he's from overseas too, but we gotta get on like around this time for him.
yeah,
I know like London time is different, so
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, man.
you know.
Since I didn't go to the final show like I planned to, I was just gonna get some shit off Amazon. Like, fuck it.
What's your favorite controversial album? Controversial is you know that goes by different opinions. I don't know what's considered controversial.
Are you talking like Martian Mathers LP controversial?
I guess that's just subjective. I don't know, but I don't think of like controversial albums. If the album is dope to me, it's dope. I don't care about the controversy.
I would throw Erotica, to be real with
Prince,
you.
any Prince album had controversy. He had an album called Controversy. You
True.
know,
If I was to pick one controversial Prince album I liked, Black Album.
right? I don't know. 69
69.
Boys are controversial. They
Isn't that
was.
the Tootsie Roll motherfuckers?
They were controversial about what?
Diabetes. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that list. Q. I didn't watch Mojo should stop making these
That's all
lists
Mojo do is make lists. I don't care about all that.
because they only base controversy off of one song, which is not
Right,
a controversial album. A controversial album is like Marshall Mathers LP, Hear My Dear,
right.
Usher's Confessions. Yep, I
Yes,
said it.
Confessions, right.
Yeah, Two Live Crew, as nasty as they want to
Right.
be. Even though I wasn't mad about they picked NWA straight out of Compton as number one, I wasn't mad. I just like they went safe with that pick. If y'all was to pick something, y'all pick Nadas, Do You Believe in God? An
Right.
album like that, you know what I'm saying? What else? What was that one album? Like the Black Crows when they had like the pubic hair like,
Mm-hmm.
for the album cover and shit like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about and shit.
Right.
These motherfuckers said Public Enemy's Fear for Black Planet, which I can see, but why not music and the message? Because that would have more controversy
Mm-hmm.
in it. But
What? So it's Apocalypse 91. But
ooh,
how do I what's the name of the song?
by the
Um,
time I
by the
get
time I get to I was right, and he had the whole controversy. The whole controversy with Arizona not celebrating MLK Day, and he was on 2020 with Ted Koppel talking about it, and yeah, I mean that I mean a lot of early Public Enemy stuff had controversy with their albums, and that's what made those albums great too. The music was just dope.
the best Public Enemy song ever.
Yeah,
Like Chuck just went in on that.
and NWA, right, straight out of Compton, great album. We're
Niggas
gonna
for
talk
Life was controversial.
that great album. We're gonna talk about
Yeah,
that coming up. So
yeah, straight out of Compton. Yes,
yeah,
100 miles and running is coming to y'all. Don't worry. Moonflower, what's up? You won't see me tonight. Was that a hit
no,
song?
no.
I don't think so.
I
No,
think it was supposed to be a single, but I never cared for that song really. I mean, it's okay, but
I
I just felt like Timbaland could have given him a better beat for
love
that.
that track.
You like that track?
Yeah,
It was cool. It's not one of my favorites on I Am, but I don't think it was like a huge hit like Nas like or Hate Me Now.
I Am is just underrated.
Definitely, I love it. Great album to me.
So I'm planning on doing a top 10 overrated rap albums.
Yes, I saw that. Machiavelli, definitely a great album. That whole controversy with him being alive, we still talking about that album now.
I was gonna throw Pain is Love in that shit.
Pain is Love is overrated to you?
Yes,
Oh my
very.
god. No, you know what's overrated? 444. That's an overrated album. King's
I'm
Disease.
not. I'm
That's
not
an
gonna
overrated
lie.
album.
I'm not gonna lie. That is. I like it, but it's overrated. I'm not gonna lie.
That
I thought you were gonna say
both
Country Grammar for a minute.
Nas and Jay, their recent shit is overrated to me. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't get it. I don't get the fan hoopla for King's Disease and the 444.
Okay,
I don't feel
King's
like any of
Disease,
those albums are fucking with their classic stuff.
King's Disease 2 was dope. I'm not gonna lie. King's Disease 1 was good, but not great.
Mm.
Yeah, America's Most Wanted. That was very controversial at that time and stuff, but it wasn't death certificate controversial. All Eyes on Me is overrated. Yeah,
I love it.
I like it, but it is overrated too. Heck, I'm not even gonna lie. I thought Volume 2 at first was a little overrated when I first heard it.
I love it. That made him a household name. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't Volume One. It was Reasonable Doubt put him on the map, but Volume Two made him a household name to everybody. Like your parents knew who he was once Hard Knock Life came out.
Blue and X
At least
album.
mine did. You know what I'm saying? Like before then, my mom didn't know who the fuck Jay-Z was before, the Hard Knock Life anthem. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, Blue and Exile Below the Heavens. Oh my god.
That's overrated. It's a dope
Yeah.
album, but it like people go crazy over that. I don't understand why. 444 was. I agree with 50. It's golf course shit. That's how I feel like Nas is making now. Golf course gentrified hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like I get he's older. That's cool, but there's a lot of other artists that, like I said, Cool G Rap is in his 50s and he's still doing mafioso rap. I don't hear nobody bitch and complain about that.
Well, if Cool G Rap ever does like a romance album, I'll be like, what is?
You know what
Come
I'm
on.
saying? If Cool G Rap made a gentrified hip hop album right now, I don't think fans will praise it because we love the mafioso rap. You know what I'm saying? Like he inspired so many others, Az and Nas and Raekwon. For that genre, for that type of hip hop.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm about to actually end it off right here because it's 6:30 right now. But I have a few announcements before I leave. So this is gonna be my last week before I go on break. Probably like a 2 week, maybe 3 week break and shit. Like, I'm not taking a break from reviews because I'm still gonna do reviews on Try's channel, and I'm still gonna do some stuff on channel Battle of Bangers and other shit. Just stay tuned. But yeah, Tuesday is Ja Rules, The Last Temptation, and stuff like that. Wednesday is Maxwell's Embryo.
Dope. We gotta get BJ for that too. Cause BJ we talk about that album.
Yeah,
He better get his ass on here. No
I'm
more
trying to.
talk about Jadakiss the Great. We gotta get talk about Maxwell now.
What did we say Thursday?
Huh? Thursday?
Yeah,
What we doing Thursday?
did we had a but next besides the Snoop Dogg breakdown? What else?
That was I think the Snoop Dogg joint was Friday.
Yeah, 'cause I know we had something else
Ja
next.
Rule, Last Temptation.
Yeah, I already said Ja Rule,
Oh, okay. Ja Rule, Last Temptation, and
Maxwell.
Maxwell. Right.
Okay, those are only two reviews. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll think of something else for Sunday if I find. 'Cause I know I said something. Let's see. Fuck it. If it comes back, it'll come back. Fuck it. But the Snoop Dogg breakdown that's gonna be on Friday. I don't know what time. Probably maybe 9 or 10 o'clock, depending on what I'm doing that day. I'll give you a final answer by Tuesday.
Cool. Salute.
Yeah.
Moonbox.
Hold on, let me see something. Give me 1 second.
Glenn Sue. Salute.
Glenn Sue, what's up? Okay, yeah, okay. I just wrote the Ja Rule, Maxwell, and
Yeah.
Snoop. Okay. All right. Well, if we think of something, I'll let you know. But
I'm always thinking of shit that we. I don't announce that, but I'm always got shit that I'm thinking about. So
right. I saw your message too about
yeah,
that pre-recording. Did you want to do that this week?
yeah, we can do that.
Bet.
We can do
And
that.
does it have to be like singles or does it have to be albums? What can it be?
It's gonna be top 10 albums for that era.
Bet, no problem.
'Cause I feel like that era is slept on, and we gotta put. I love the '90s, but people ignore the '80s, and we gotta put some more respect on the '80s artists. The '80s artist that's dying off.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We just lost Bismarck Keys from the '80s, so yeah.
Right. Well, thank y'all so much for watching. And again, I do apologize for running late due to that incident I had to deal with, but appreciate it. Try.
Yeah.
I will see y'all Tuesday as I try to get myself together. Hope everyone has a good night. Peace.
Peace.